Like I already told y'all, I'm not even getting involved in this election thing. And I got all my reasons why I don't get involved in this type of stuff. Because pretty soon, this whole government and everything that's in it will fall. It's going to fall. It's guaranteed to fall. That ain't coming from me. That's coming from the man upstairs. Let me tell y'all why it's going to fall. Because America is the land of lies. I'm going to break it down for you. They lied about our freedom and our liberty because we don't have that. You feel me? Number two, they lied about education. They tell us to go to college. They tell us to go to school and you guaranteed a better life. They lied about that. They lied about the national anthem, saying that it's for everybody. But it's not for everybody. And we all know that. It's clear. They lied about taxes. We ain't supposed to be paying taxes. We ain't supposed to be paying taxes on taxes that we already paid. They lied about us having to pay mortgages and rent in this corporation. We ain't supposed to be doing that, especially black people on our own land. They're criminals. They lied about New Year's, saying the New Year is on January 1st. What's new about January 1st? Everything's dead. That's not a new year. They lied about April Fools being a day for playing jokes on your people. They lied about that. They lied about justice for all people. It's obvious. It's a lie. They lied about these celebrities being rich and having all the money in the world. They lied about it. But we still follow these celebrities as if they are rich. They lied. They lied about Jesus being a white guy. They lied about that. And the Bible clearly tells us his description. They lied about the police are supposed to protect and serve. They lied about that. They lied about December 25th being Jesus' birthday. They lied about it. They lied about these holidays we're supposed to celebrate. These holidays. And all of the holidays are full of paganism. But we still be celebrating them. They lied to us. They lied and told you that you should follow your horoscope. They lied to you. They lied about presidents being elected. They lied about it. Presidents are selected. They already know who they want in there. But they're going to make the public war against each other for who they want in there. They lied. They lied about Christopher Columbus discovering America. They lied. They lied about the word good morning. What's good about morning? They lied. They just changed the spelling so they can lie to you. They lied about how black celebrities die. It's always an overdose or some gang violence. They lied. They lied about being able to change your gender. They lied. You can't change your gender. God made you how he wanted you to be. You changed your gender. You tried to change your gender. You attempted to change your gender. You can't. That was a lie. They lied to us about evolution. We came from monkeys. Yeah, they lied. They lying about Donald Trump being shot in the ear, almost assassinated. They lying. And they continue to lie, and they're going to keep lying. So those are just some facts and some things that you should think about while you are all involved in these politics and voting and all of this stuff that America is doing. I don't want nothing to do with America and what they're doing. And you shouldn't either, because they lie.
Let's talk about a word we all use every single day. American. It's on our money, in our schools, in our songs, and stitched right into the flag. But here's what they never told you. The meaning of the word American used to mean something completely different than it does today. Back in the 1848 Webster's Dictionary, American was defined as a native of America, originally applied to the aboriginals or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans. Let that sink in. The original Americans were described as copper-colored races, meaning the people already living here, brown-skinned, melanated, indigenous to the soil. So how did that meaning disappear? That's what we're uncovering today, because this isn't just about a word, it's about how language got weaponized to erase identity. Now, before we get too deep, we need to talk about who Webster actually was and why his words mattered. Noah Webster was born in 1758, a teacher, lawyer, and political thinker. He lived during the Revolutionary War, and his whole mission was to help America break free from British influence, not just politically, but linguistically. He believed that a new nation needed its own language. He wanted to create a version of English that reflected American values and not the old world British ones. That's why we spell color, C-O-L-O-R, without the U, center, C-E-N-T-E-R, instead of C-E-N-T-R-E, and honor, H-O-N-O-R, instead of honor, H-O-N-O-U-R. That's all Noah Webster. But more than spelling, he wanted to define who Americans were. Literally. He thought language was the foundation of national identity. So when he published his American Dictionary of the English Language in 1828, it wasn't just a list of words, it was his way of shaping what America was supposed to mean. And here's where it gets real. In Webster's 1848 edition, published after his death but still followed his original notes, he clearly described American as the original copper-colored races found by Europeans. That definition wasn't random. It reflected what people in his time knew to be true. The first Americans weren't white settlers. They were brown, copper-toned, indigenous people, the original nations of this land. But as the years went by, the new editors took over his work and they started changing it. By the early 1900s, the word American was completely redefined. No more mention of copper-colored races. Now it just meant a citizen of the United States. That's how erasure happens, quietly through the pen. Now, when Webster wrote his dictionary, he wasn't inventing anything new. He was documenting what existed. The indigenous people he described were the true Americans. He saw them. He acknowledged them. They were the people of the land before it was called America. But when the U.S. government expanded, pushing westward, seizing land, and enforcing policies like the Indian Removal Act, the narrative had to shift. They couldn't keep calling the original people Americans while removing them from their own homeland, so they changed the story, and the dictionary changed with it. Hold up. Before I keep going any deeper, let's talk about real empowerment, because understanding where we come from means nothing if we're still depending on systems that weren't built for us. That's why I supported OneUnited Bank, the largest Black-owned bank in America. They're not just holding money, they're building legacy. They teach financial literacy, empower our communities, and keep the Black dollar circulating where it belongs. If we're serious about ownership, this is where it starts. Our money, our movement. So visit OneUnited. I put the link in the comment section. It's pinned, and put your dollars where they'll actually make a difference. Now, let's get back to the story. By the mid-1800s, America was rewriting its image. The rise of the manifest destiny, the push westward, and the myth of white pioneering all needed one thing: a clean national identity. So they took the word American, peeled it away from its original people, and applied it to themselves. White settlers became Americans. The indigenous people became Indians, and everyone else got pushed into racial categories that made sure American stayed synonymous with white. When white people don't even belong here in America. By the 1900s, when schools, censuses, and textbooks used the word American, it had already been fully rebranded. That's how identity theft looks when it's backed by law and language. You know what's wild? Every generation after that grew up never questioning it. Because who questions a dictionary? Who argues with the textbook? They didn't have to rewrite history books overnight. They just changed a few key definitions, and over time, everyone forgot. Even census categories were built around those lies: Negro, mulatto, Indian, colored. But American? That box wasn't made for you. That's not coincidence. That's by design. And since we're talking about taking back what's ours, let's talk about ownership in the digital age. If you've got a voice, a story, or a hustle, you can turn it into something online. You can turn it into income online. That's why I rock with Wealthy Affiliate. It's a platform that teaches you how to build websites, create digital businesses, and even income from what you know. No tech degree, no gateway, no gatekeeping, just a real independence. Start for free at Wealthy Affiliate. I put that also in the comment section. It's going to be pinned under OneUnited Bank. And you can start building your own definition of success. Now that we know the history, what do we do with it? We reclaim it. We reclaim it. Because when you know what was stolen, you know what to restore. We start telling our kids that the original Americans look like us. That the word American once meant brown, copper-colored, indigenous, not imported. We reconnect to the soil, to the stories, to the truth that they tried to hide in plain sight. So next time somebody tells you go back to where you came from, hand them a Webster dictionary from 1848 and say, I already am where I came from. This has been unapologetically my opinion. Now, if you're ready to unlearn, reclaim, and rebuild, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe, because the only way to undo deception is to speak the truth loudly, boldly, and unapologetically. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.